First of all, welcome to the yeshiva guys in Gateshead, to the most choshuv kollel yeshiva in Gateshead, and big thank you to Rav Shlomo for having it part of it. So it's a big zchus to have you with us, and if you have question, please try to ask it at the end. So פרשת החמות, וידבר השם אל משה החרמות שני בני אהרון בקרבתם לפני השם וימותו. So Hashem is talking to Moshe after the children of Aaron died, they were karov in front of Hashem and they died. Why? What was the sin? What was the sin of Bnei Aaron? Here, when you read the pasuk, it says, "Bekorvatam lifnei Hashem vayamutu." They came close in front of Hashem, and they died. If you know, we're looking at Parashat Shmini, which is in Perek Yud pasuk Aleph. It seems that the sin was be'akrivam es zara asher lo tziva Hashem. The Sifri brings that there is a stirah between the Parshiot. What was the sin of Bnei Aaron by bringing the Ktoret? In Parashat Shmini it says, Ba'akrivam es zara. So the actual korban, it's the sin. Here in Parashat Achemot it says, Bekorvatam lifnei Hashem vayamutu. They were close in front of Hashem and they died. So it seems here that the sin was for getting close to Hashem, versus the sin in Parsha Shmini, they just brought Ktoret and they weren't allowed to bring a Ktoret. So the shaila is be'emet, what was the sin of Bnei Aaron? Question number one. There is a Rashi over here, unbelievable Rashi. וידבר השם למשה אחרי מות שני בני אהרון. Look Rashi in פסוק א', מה תלמוד לומר? היה רבי אלעזר בן עזריה מושלו משל. רבי אלעזר בן עזריה gives משל. What's a משל? לחולה שנכנס אצלו רופא, החולה, that a רופא, doctor came to visit him, אמר לו, אל תאכל צונן ואל תשכב בתחב. Don't eat cold and don't sleep in תחב. תחב it is straw, that cold over there as well. בא אחר ואמר לו, אל תאכל צונן ואל תשכב בתחב, שלא תמות כדרך שמת פלוני. Here we have a different reason. Don't do it because somebody else also died like it. זה זרז יותר מן הראשון. The second one who told them don't drink cold and get cold stuff, like somebody else did it and he died, it's much better זירוז, נכון? But you don't want to die like him. So he said, לכך נאמר, we have two messages over here. First message is אחרי מות שני בני אהרון. The first message is after they died and because they were close to Hashem. Second message, ויאמר משה דבר אל אהרון אחיך ואל יבוא שלא ימות כדרך שמתו בניו. The second message we're saying that first message is don't come closer, and the second message, don't come closer, the same thing, the children of Aharon died. So in simple words, we have a mashal to give a message why we have it repeat twice. So just like the mashal, the first one gave the message and it didn't give the example, don't drink cold, but it didn't say like somebody else who died. Second one said, do it like somebody else who died. Same thing over here. The first message is don't do what they did. Second one, by the way, they died, so make sure not to die like them. So if you look at the mashal, that needs a lot of explanation. Number one, in the mashal it seems that the first doctor wasn't a good doctor. Because the first doctor, he warned them without giving them example. The second doctor happened to be a good doctor. Lama? He said, by the way, don't do it. If you're going to do it, you're going to die. So if Hashem is the comparable of the mashal. So in the nimshal, Hashem should be what? The first doctor or the second doctor or both? What would Hashem needs to be? Both? No, not both. No, the first one was wrong. Right. He should be only like the second one. So we see a mashal that the first one didn't give the message right, the second one gave it better, and he sees that Hashem did, okay, first one he gave it wrong, second time he gave it better. What's going on? Hashem should give the message in a perfect way, like the second guy, not giving it twice. What? What's the point of both? The first one did it wrong. the second one did it better. So you should give it like the second one. By the way, don't drink cold, don't drink and die, don't sleep in cold places, just like a person died.
But he could
be the same person.
He could even
No, Ba'acher, he said. Another doctor came.
in this case, it could be even before somebody died with it. It could be saying no one died. Let's just say from this thing.
No, that's excellent for the mashal. The mashal, let's say the first doctor didn't know if anybody
Yeah,
died,
exactly.
and that's excellent. But for us, the nimshal, Hashem knew that they died already. So Hashem should give a clear one message, don't do it like them. Why do we need to say it once and the other one?
The second doctor is a lot more proactive.
Yeah, and Hashem should be like the second doctor.
Right.
That's it.
And
Hashem.
it makes sense because Kol HaTorah was given to us. It's telling us what to do before we actually do it. Meaning, instead of reacting, it's being proactive.
Correct. You have a kasha from Gateshead, yes.
מה הקשר? מה הבעיה? הקדוש ברוך הוא באמת אמר לו, כמו זה השני.
No, Hashem, two messages. First is the first pasuk. That's how the Sifri brings. It's Rashi quoting the Sifri, and that's how the Sifri brings it. First message is they was in front of Hashem and they died. Second message, ve'al yavo becholet el hakodesh. So the Sifri said there are two messages, just like the mashal. So the shali is, what do we need the two messages for? Another problem I have, the mashal got to be similar to the nimshal, nachon? So the mashal is, they don't drink cold and don't sleep in cold places. How is that connected for bringing Torah? I think bringing Torah, it's hot. It's not cold. Why would the mashal will be cold and not hot?
סתם ככה זה לא מובן, because the pasuk says one message, it breaks it up twice. The pasuk should have just said, וידבר השם משה, אחרי מות שני בני אהרון, don't come in, כמו שהם מתו.
Exactly, it should be one clear message instead of two messages. Weiter, the pasuk says, by the way, Aaron HaKohen, there is special time you can do it. You know when? On Yom Kippur. Ki be'anan erea al hakatoret. Yom Kippur is the only day that you can bring a ktoret. What's obviously special about Yom Kippur to say that on Yom Kippur Aaron can bring Torah in Kodesh HaKodashim. Anytime during the year he cannot. What's the significance of Yom Kippur? The Medrash says, I think it's the Tanchuma, the Yerushalmi says, that why we mentioning when we read the Torah on Yom Kippur, Bnei Aaron, Acharei Mod, Yom Kippur we read. What's the Parsha you read on Yom Kippur? Acharei Mod Shene Bnei Aaron. Why do we read that the children of Aaron died on Yom Kippur? Lomar lecha, to teach you, just like Yom Kippur mechaper al העבירות, same thing mitatan shel tzadikin mechaperet al העבירות. So just like Yom Kippur giving you kapara, so too when tzadikim are dying. What's the connection בכלל? Yom Kippur, we're doing tshuva, maisim toivim, we have kapara. Tzadikim died, suddenly we have kapara. What's the connection from one to the other?
You could give other tzaddikim stories. You don't need to give Dafka and Nadav Avihu.
What?
There's so many stories you could have gave of tzaddikim passing away.
No, but here again, but you're not going to go to Koasu Chachamenu, the newer books for today.
This is
We
also
got
a
it
day,
done.
just to refer to the question, Yom Kippur was a day, and it's talking about a person.
Yeah, obviously, day in the person. What's going on behind in the message? Weiter, there is an unbelievable Sifri. Wow. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam, wow. The Sifri, take a look in פרק במדבר, פסוק, פרק י"א? פרק י"א, פסוק א'. י"א במדבר, פרק י"א, פסוק א'. י"א, א' במדבר. The story over there, while you're opening it, ויהי העם כמסויננים. בני ישראל were complaining. בני ישראל were complaining. רע באוזני השם. פרשת בעלותך. פרק י"א. י"א א'. So, העם were מתאוננים, they were complainers, sound like Jewish. רע בעיני השם. They were bad in front of Hashem. ויחר אפו, Hashem was angry. What?
Not bad name, best name.
Okay, you're right. רע באוזני Hashem, thank you. With the ears of Hashem was bad. וישמע Hashem, Hashem listened. ויחר אפו, was angry. ותיבר במס Hashem, Hashem got fire on them and he burned them. ותאכל בקצה המחנה. And the קצה of המחנה, the side of the מחנה was burned. I will explain it in a second. ויצעק העם אל משה, the nation was screaming to משה רבינו. ויתפלל משה אל השם, משה דוד to השם, ותשקע האש. מה זה ותשקע? שקיע סחמה. לאיפה היא שקע? אש come from שמיים. What's supposed to be to it? Should be, vacuum back to שמיים. So the story, just to have the storyline. Before the story of the מתאוננים, we have the famous pasuk, ויהי בנשא אהרון ויאמר השם, קומה השם ויפוצו אויביך וינוסו משנאיך מפניך. So Hashem, that's the time that saying the Aaron is traveling. Hashem is looking for a place for Bnei Israel to have menucha, to rest. And here Bnei Israel come and they are complaining. Rashi says, why they're complaining באוזני Hashem? They want to get Hashem angry. ממש, מילים של רש"י. איפה זה? שמתכוונים שתבוא באוזניו ויקנית. They want him to hear them complaining, להדליק אותו, אומרים הישראלים. מה זה להדליק? To get him. And השם נדלק. ויחר השם, שורף אותם. מה קורה פה?
השם הוא ספרדי.
השם הוא ספרדי, מרוקאי. מה קורה פה? Hashem, they want to get Hashem angry and they get him. And they get him angry. So Hashem, what Hashem is doing is getting fire. And first of all, I don't get them. You want to get Hashem angry? You just work with Hashem. Now you want to get Hashem angry? And then they said, okay, they got him angry. So who should get the punishment?
The instigators.
The instigators. Who got the punishment? ותאכל בקצה המחנה. Says Rashi, two pshatim. Pshat אחד, דערב רב. The second pshat, what the Medrash brings, בקצינים שבהם ובגדולים שבהם. The Medrash brings that בקצה המחנה is referred to Sanhedrin, because Sanhedrin are sitting in the מחנה. Since Sanhedrin are sitting in the מחנה, who is בקצה המחנה? The Sanhedrin are the קצה המחנה. So Hashem burned the Sanhedrin. What's going on over here? You have some nudnikim complaining, get Hashem angry, Hashem get angry, and he punish who? The Sanhedrin. מה קורה פה? Unbelievable story. Followed by, Hashem got the fire, he burned those small people from the Sanhedrin. And this is the Sifrei Zuta in Parshas Ba'alocho says the following. He says, when he said, Vatishka Esh, the Esh was Shkia Sachamer. Tishka Esh means, he said, the Esh never went back. This is the same fire that burning the Korbanot. This is the same fire which burns Nadav Avihu, and this is the same fire that burns Korach. Bamachtot of Bnei Korach, the 250, this is the same fire that burned all of them. What's the connection between Mitonenim? That the same fire will burn Nadav Korbanot, Nadav Avihu, and Korach. This is unbelievable Sifri.
I don't understand. Where do we see that they wanted Hashem to get angry?
Rashi said,
רש"י.
רש"י מפורש.
I just want to see which word.
דיבור רמת חלרה באוזני השם שמתכוונים, פסוק א', י"א א', רע באוזני השם שמתכוונים שתבוא בעיניו להקנית אותם. That's unbelievable.
11A.
Another basic question everybody should ask and everybody asks.
But it's no shaykhis though.
What's the connection between one to the other?
No, Sanhedrin. What the heck?
Yeah, what's the Sanhedrin? Why is Sanhedrin getting punishment? Because what they're doing, it's
Because they're in
unbelievable.
charge of the people.
Yeah, but okay. In general, I know they're in charge, but Dafka the Sanhedrin getting punishment for what they're complaining, haram.
It's just like saying you, the people.
No, but there is a better.
Just like the tzaddikim מדברים על העם,
But it's not a kapara, it's a punishment. It's different. ותאכל בקצה המחנה. It seems to be a punishment for the Sanhedrin. Now, the other child,
lack of
The
leadership.
din that they gave at one point.
we have to save the basis for it. So it seems, everybody asks, אחרי מות שני בני אהרון, this parsha should be when?
בשמיני.
אחרי שמיני, נכון? Why this parsha? It's after taking a break,
זה המצורע.
relax a little bit, תזריע המצורע. Now, אחרי מות של בני אהרון. What's the flow over here? So in order to understand, we need to step back into Parashat Shmini. Parashat Shmini, it's in Vayikra, Perek, Yud, פסוק א'. לא פרק י'. כן, פרק י' פסוק א'.
10a.
ויקחו בני אהרון, מה אתה אומר? ירבת?
Page 309.
ביוניים.
Hebrew. I don't know that.
592.
ויקחו בני אהרון, נדב ואביהו, איש מחתתו. The children of Aaron, Nodov and Avihu, each one of them took his מחתה, its pen. ויתנו בהן אש, they put fire on it. וישימו עליה קטורת, and they put on top of it קטורת. Pay attention to that. When you first they put the fire and then they put the ktoret.
Other way around. Put the ketchup
Should be
in the
usually you
fire.
put the ktoret and then you
Put the fire.
put the fire. But ויקריבו לפני, ויתנו ויתנו לקטורת, ויקריבו לפני השם אש זרה, they brought in front of Hashem a strange fire, אשר לא ציווה אותם, that he didn't command them. So we have a double description, אש זרה, and then אשר לא ציווה אותם. If it's אש זרה, strange fire, for sure he didn't command them. This is a double description of this fire. Then ותצא אש מלפני השם ותאכל אותם, a fire came in front of Hashem and he ate them, וימותו לפני השם, and they died in front of Hashem. So in order to understand, I was thinking the following. We have an established relationship with Hashem that begins with, obviously, Avraham Avinu, and Hashem gave us the Torah. We got to do the mitzvot, we got to obey everything, and we got to do what Hashem said. Sometimes people doing mistakes and they don't do what Hashem said. What's the solution of a mistake? We have the korbanot. What's the idea of a korban, bringing a korban? Korban means an understanding that if I did an avera, I went away from Hashem. So I need to come back to Hashem in order for Hashem to accept me and to get me back under his wings. Every avera creates a distance. And distance require to appease, to reconnect, to go back to Hashem. The only way Hashem will go back to a person, it's only when he understands that he has a distance and he wants to get closer to Hashem. The Gemara says, חביבים על הקדוש ברוך הוא, עוברי עבירו יותר מעושה מצווה. למה? Someone who's doing mitzvah, he feels that his relationship with Hashem, his closeness with Hashem is granted. Hashem, I'm doing mitzvah. I deserve it. Yalla, tavi. Get me nachat, parnasa, everything. So the closeness of Hashem with someone who's doing mitzvah, it's in his perspective, I am close to Hashem. It's given to me. I did mitzvot, I do what Hashem wants me to do, and I'm close to you. A guy who's doing avera, he understands that he's far away from Hashem. There is so much pain of avera. When he comes close to Hashem, it's an effort of him doing tshuva, bringing a korban, getting closer, and he appreciates Hashem taking him and receiving his apologies and restoring the relationship. So doing an avera, it's a distance that asking for Hashem, Hashem, I need your closeness. I want to be close to you. Then you can appreciate closeness to Hashem. When we're doing mitzvot, we don't appreciate the closeness of Hashem through mitzvot. Because in a way, by doing mitzvot, we feel very close to Hashem. I once met a guy that, he was a rabbi, Mamesh, and I see him without a kippah. So I asked him, hi, how are you? What's going on? איך אתה? So he told me, I told him, are you religious or not? כאילו, maybe. So he said, no. I said, you keep Shabbat? He said, no. He told me, but don't worry. Hashem understands me well. I did enough and it's okay. He feels close to Hashem. But it's fine, it's okay. He doesn't need to do mitzvot. The level of somebody, when we do a lot, we get close, we feel the relationship with Hashem granted, and there is no way to get close to Hashem. If you think you deserve the closeness to Hashem, you misunderstood who is Hashem. Only if you understand that Hashem is far away from you, you can get the closeness and appreciate it. But if you approach to Hashem as something that, okay, I'm close, I'm comfortable, then there is no way you can come closer to Him. How do you create the understanding that Hashem is far away from me? When you go out to meet a Choshuv Rav, what's the first thing people doing outside? Make sure, I look okay. You have a certain preparation that you do before an act of closeness. A girl going out on a date, nachon? She dressed up nicely. The boy dressed up nicely. Lama? Because he understands that the closeness is not granted. So I need to prepare myself before I get closer. After they getting married, מה אכפת לי? מה אכפת לי? הכל בסדר. Usually they say that ladies at home, they don't put makeup. Outside they put makeup. כי בבית anyway, he's my husband. Which is wrong. Because when you have closeness, you don't do any preparation toward the event, toward meetings. Bnei Aaron, Nadav and Avihu, the Midrash says, they were greater than Moshe Rabbeinu. They knew they were greater than Moshe Rabbeinu. They took the relationship with Hashem as something granted. We are close to Hashem. How do you see? The way to bring a korban is, first you have a ketoret. You go to Hashem, you ask Hashem, this is my korban for you. What Hashem does right after? Fire, which takes away, receive the korban. They telling Hashem, here, it's all in one, included. This is the machta. We're giving it to you with the fire, with the ketoret. We're getting the whole job done for you. We're close to you. We are part of you. It's a package deal to Hashem. Their sin of Bnei Aaron, they felt close to Hashem. They didn't understand the distance. And you see, what were the other reasons of sin of Bnei Aaron? שהיו שטויי. Somebody's drinking wine. מה הוא מרגיש? Close, שוחר, אחי, הכל בסדר, When you drink wine, people give kafot, they do everything, huh? Right? שתייה, שתה. So, action of drinking wine, פרועי ראש, מה הוא מרגיש? הכל בסדר, hippie. No distance. They have no distance from anybody. So, drinking wine, שטויי ראש, all of the symptoms of Bnei Aaron, they felt close to Hashem. So in order to give korban to Hashem, you need to have two stages. One, preparation, and then Hashem acceptance. They did it together, and they were wrong. So if they were wrong, the first fire shouldn't be there. What should be following the Ketoret? Second fire. Nachon? So this is what happened. They brought the Ketoret, and Hashem there with fire to receive their Ketoret. But there was no Ketoret because they already burned it. They put the fire before. So who did Hashem take as a korban? ותאכל אותם. So which means the biggest kasha is, how can you say that הוא השם דיבר השם לאמור בקרובה יקדש ועל פני כל העם מכבד. Hashem said that with my people I will make בית המקדש kadosh. This is kadosh, you're giving somebody punishment? This is not a punishment. This is a full korban that Hashem is taking. And it's an unbelievable sign from Hashem. They sin to Hashem by bringing korban that they feel too close. And what did Hashem do? He come closer to them. Hashem come closer to them. Okay, you want to come closer to me? I'll come closer to you, but you're not ready. So I'm taking you as a korban because you don't have a korban. The sin of Bnei Aaron was they were comfortable with Hashem. They didn't feel they need any preparation. They bring korban to Hashem with the fire. Here, Hashem, reach nichuach. We're taking care of you. Hashem says, no, we need a distance. There is no way you feel closer to Hashem. And therefore, I need you to understand that we are far away. If you feel too close to Hashem, what Hashem does? Make you close to Him. That's exactly. If you think you're close to Hashem, Hashem said, no problem. Be close to me. Hashem, לוקח אותם. Anytime Hashem take them, it's a sign of closeness to Hashem, and therefore that's הוא אשר דיבר השם לאמור בקרובי, כי Hashem is מקדש בית המקדש. Let's go to the story of the מתאוננים. What was the story of מתאוננים? מתאוננים, they were right after ויהי בנשוא אהרון. So we ask a question, you complaining, you telling Hashem, Hashem, by the way, we want Hashem to hear, להקניתו מתכוונים, נכון? They want to get him angry. How can you get somebody angry? What's wrong with you? When do you instigate you get somebody angry?
You want attention.
When you feel
You're close enough.
close enough. Usually children making the father angry. למה? He's close, my father. I can get him angry. מה יעשה? יזרוק אותי עם his father. ויהיה העם כמתאוננים, עם ישראל felt too close to Hashem. Right after, ויהי בנשוא אהרון ויאמר משה. They said, okay, Hashem, you're taking care of us, you're finding us a place, you're giving the Aron Kodesh among us. Yalla, we feel good, let's complain. Yalla, בוא נהיה פתוחים, let's open up. I'm close to you. That's why להקניתו מכוונים, they weren't משוגעים. להקניתו, yeah, they want to get angry. We are upset, we want to share with you. Hashem said, gotta be distance. But here it's unbelievable what happened. Who are the people who caused them to feel close to Hashem? This is the Rashaim, נכון? Would the Rasha feel close to Hashem? No, he knows he's a Rasha. He's doing Averot. Nadav and Avihu, they feel close to Hashem. Says the Medrash, the Sanhedrin are at fault. Because the Sanhedrin acting in a way, they are too close to Hashem. So, Am Israel seeing the Sanhedrin, they're getting the message, we're too close. Who gets the punishment? The Sanhedrin. Because you are at fault. The leaders of the generation giving a message to the people, are we close or we are not closed? This fire of the Mitonenim, it's a fire of a sign when people are too close to Hashem, Hashem is taken away. It's a fire of closeness. Therefore, the same fire that burned the Sanhedrin as people felt too close to Hashem, that's the fire that burned Nadav and Avihu, who felt close to Hashem. The same fire will burn the 250 people. Parshat Korach, it says, כי כל העדה כולם קדושים. It says over there, when ויקחו 250 איש מחתתו, So over there it says the same thing. ויקחו איש מחתתו, each one took his own מחתה. Same thing by נדב and אביהו. ויקחו איש מחתתו. ויתנו עליהם אש, they put the fire. And then וישימו עליהן קטורת. And then they put the קטורת. That seems to be, that was a test by Parshat Korach to see which korban Hashem will take. The reaction of Hashem was, ואש יצא מאת השם, ותאכל את 50 ו200 איש מקריבי הקטורת. A fire came from Hashem, and he took who? Took them. What happened to their pens, to their machtot? It was a cover to the Mizbeach. You're putting a sin cover to the Mizbeach? They felt close to Hashem. They told Hashem, we don't need Moshe Rabbeinu. What was our claim of Korach? כי כל העדה כולם קדושים, we are close. We can get the closeness to Hashem without you, Moshe Rabbeinu. The same fire that burned the Mitonenim felt close to Hashem. The same fire that burned Nadav and Avihu felt close to Hashem. Burned the 250 people by Adat Korach, you felt close to Hashem, come to me. You're going to be part of me. A korban, the same fire is being used for the korbanot. Lama. What's a korban means? Korban, it's a sign of closeness, but there is a specialty to a korban. You're creating a distance before you're bringing it. How korban works? You do shchita, you do everything. You're bringing it to Hashem, to the fire. That's a healthy closeness to Hashem. All other closeness without preparation, it's not the closeness of Hashem. Lachen, the only time you can bring the korban is when? Yom Kippur. What is specialty of Yom Kippur? Hashem,
To close his day
you
with
want to feel close to Hashem.
Hem Avira.
No, you want to feel close to Hashem by bringing a korban, but you need first permission from Hashem to be close to Him. Yom Kippur, what's the specialty? כתוב שובה עליי והשובה עליכם. Yom Kippur is the time that Hashem come close to us. Now you can bring a ktoret. The only time to bring a similar ktoret when Hashem said, I'm okay to receive it. Nadav and Avihu brought it without permission from Hashem. They're not ready for it. Hashem took them. But in Yom Kippur, Hashem said, I'm coming to you. I'm waiting for you. Now you can bring it as a korban, but as a ktoret. But before he brought a ktoret, what did Aaron do? What did the Torah require? בזאת יבוא אהרון אל הקודש, בפר בן בקר לחטאת, והי לעולה. First, you got to bring the korbanot, understand who you are. Then, I'm coming close to you, you can bring the korban. Which means, the sin of Nadav and Avihu, there were two portions to the sin. Sin number one, don't feel too close. So, their sin is bringing Ktoret. Then, what was the reason of the sin? So, Be'akrivam Ezara, bringing the Ktoret, that was the sin. This week Parasha, he says, Bekorvatam lifnei Hashem, that was the symptoms of the sin. So, the sin itself, they feel too close. That was the symptoms of the sin. The actual sin was bringing the Ktoret, which showed them that they feel too close to Hashem. That feeling of too close to Hashem, being breaked up to Aaron at two stages. We ask, in the Mashal we see there were two doctors who giving the message. Why do I need two doctors to give the message? There are two types of messages. There is a message of, don't do it, it's not good. And there is a message of closeness. One message to Aaron and the children, do not do what they did. Such an action, it's wrong. Bringing a Ktoret is equivalent to eating cold, we'll explain in a second, and drinking cold. Don't do that action. Second action, second message is, by the way, when you do that, you're becoming too close to Hashem, you can get burnt. So two separate messages. Don't do it, and understanding when you're doing it, you're becoming too close, and therefore you're not allowed to do it. So there are two messages of the mashal, cut and paste to the nimshal. You don't do it, it's not good, because when you do it, you feel too close. What's the mashal? Is cold?
Unprepared.
Unprepared. Getting cold and getting, you don't care what you're doing. Anyone who goes to sleep, he doesn't sleep on a wet place. When you're drinking, you think twice what? Good for you. You're acting without thinking, without preparation. Getting cold in a way, you can say, they chill about that. When you drink cold, it's a mode, you're drinking cold, it's a mode that you don't need to think too much. You can drink whatever you want, yeshiva guy, drink whatever you want, eat whatever you want, sleep whenever you want, and does whatever you want. That's a feeling of chill. This is a sign of chillness. You feel you can do whatever you want. That's cold.
Say that someone who's sick doesn't drink cold.
Huh?
Someone who's sick doesn't drink cold.
You think about his movement. Here there was no thinking. When you feel too close, you don't think about your movement. When you understand that I got to think twice, every action you do, you think before you are doing it. Getting close to Hashem, it's a requirement before every step. Lachen, what was the separation between last week parasha to this week parasha? What's the message of the two middle parshiyot? Tazria Metzora, parashot of Nida and Metzora. What's the message? Distance, separation. The sin of Shmini was closeness. The parashot that breaking it is between it. You have to understand a distance, a place where you are coming from. Now we can understand the Yerushalmi. The Yerushalmi says that mitatam shel tzadikim, it's same as Yom HaKippurim. What's Yom HaKippurim means? Hashem come closer to us. Mitatam shel tzadikim means Hashem come closer, come, be with me together. The same act Hashem does by mitatam shel tzadikim, He connected to us. Same thing by Yom Kippur. So same thing that Yom Kippur mechaper, mitatam shel tzadikim mechaperet.
How exactly is that by the tzaddik dying? How does that make it Hashem close?
Because, no, so it's same as Nadav and Avihu, meaning when we understand that when Nadav and Avihu died, Hashem said, I want you close to me. In Yom Kippur, what Hashem does, He come close to us. It's a closeness from two different directions, which is exactly, okay.
What's the healthy level of
Huh?
closeness? What's the healthy level of
Okay, so it's on a practical level, you must have closeness with Hashem, but you cannot assume that it's granted and given to you. So many people think, Rabbi, I keep Shabbat, I do the, why I don't have this? So meaning, I do what? God, I'm taking care of you, Nachon? Take care of me. We don't deserve anything from Him. We come with an understanding that we deserve. We're learning Torah, Nachon? We are the top people in the pyramid of the world. Meaning, how many yeshiva guys you have in the world?
Hundreds of thousands.
No, I checked it. It's not hundreds of thousands.
Very small.
Yes, 80,000 the most. In Eretz Yisrael, there are 40,000.
It's very small.
Yeah, 40,000 yeshiva guys. Can you imagine? Don't billions in the world. We have less than 100,000 people. We are in the top of the world. What's the feeling that we have? We should feel the top of the world. Yes, this is who we are. But we cannot feel that Hashem, we deserve it.
we're not entitled to it?
We're not entitled to it. It's an obligation and privilege that we receive. But we cannot feel entitled to Hashem.
How can we
The
protect
reason us as Bnei Torah sinning, I'm not talking about sinning, not keeping Shabbos, but there are many elements in our life that we let go. You know, some certain chumrah that, you might have to do, and you're like, בסדר, lo nora. How can we do it? All of the things, I'm talking about each one. I didn't have kavana in tefillah today. I have no patience. I'm talking about myself. I'm sorry about, I'm a human being. You're Davi 18, you don't know where you came from by Yosef Shalom. Where was I for this? מה קורה איתי? What's wrong with me? We do so much. We try to get close to Hashem, and we feel comfortable not to do it. But you're standing and say to Hashem, how many people daven to you minche?
How do we protect
How many people want to be? So we come in with the feeling, look, we're doing such a great thing, Hashem. We're okay. Come on. We don't understand that we have a distance. That's why we're coming, we feel close to Hashem, and it's good. But we need to incorporate the distance between us and Hashem. We cannot feel comfortable with Hashem to stand in front of Him. I was in a speech of Reb Shlomo Wolbe. This is one of the best speeches. Third mamish to end. I used to go every Motzei Shabbos. 25 years ago. Rav Shlomo maybe went with me once, even in Beit Vagan, in Beltera. So I heard from him many shiurim, and this shiur was the best shiur I ever heard. Why? It's bad. Why? Because it says in the shiur, he said it was Shabbat HaGadol, and he lived in Givat Shaul, my parents' neighborhood, and he spoke in Chanicha Yeshivas. And he said, when we daven Shmona Esrei, we have no kavanah. He said, Chacham, you have to repeat Mogen Avos if you didn't say Baruch Ato Hashem, Magen Avraham. To repeat, make sure you have kavanah. And even that we don't do. I'm like, Baruch Hashem. I know, Rav Shlomo Wolbe said we don't do it. You think I have to do it? But it's wrong. It's wrong. Then I said, okay, I thought that I have really big problem. Then I said that I have an average problem. But the fact that my problem is average doesn't make it not a problem. And that's, I think, the important message over here. We feel close, we feel comfortable. And I think it's related even, to our spouses, those that's married. We feel too comfortable with our wives, and we feel, הכל בסדר, meaning I can say, I can do whatever I want. Feel the distance. Consider your wife as dating, And let's see if she wants you, huh?
How do we test ourselves to see if we feel entitled? What's the litmus test to say, okay, now I'm entitled?
So לעניות דעתי, no, excellent. How can we test ourselves?
Okay, because it's a famous word they say, "Ve'erastich le'olam, ve'erastich." I'm gonna show me husim.
Very good. Ve'erastich le'olam, to feel engaged.
You're always engaged to
engaged.
Hashem, never married to Hashem. There's a difference.
No, but I think to answer Gil's question, how can we test ourselves? לעניות דעתי, when you come to a nisayon, it says that Ben Ish Chai said that when you're saying Asher Yatzar, you need to stand. You need to stand. So again, I'm challenging with myself. I'm standing, then Asher Yatzar, then I see myself on the other side. By the end of the bracha, I'm like, I was standing. But so in my mind, I was okay to move. Why am I okay to move? I knew at the beginning of the bracha I'm not allowed to move. And then suddenly I move. What's wrong with me? That means that I feel comfortable. When you have ever nisayon and you're giving yourself an answer, you know that it's the wrong thing. You know you're not supposed to walk in the middle. It's not awareness. It's not. I describe it. I found myself on the other side. But you do action. You move. You're controlling your brain. So you're starting the Acharei Yatzar, and you know Ben Ish Chai said you're not allowed to walk, and then suddenly I walk. What's wrong with me? Because I don't have the proper awareness that the proper fear from Hashem, understanding Hashem. You don't need me. I got to do things right. I feel okay now, so I'm not going to say the Acharei Yatzar. Chumrah of the Chazon Ish, of the Ben Ish Chai, I'm going to call it. It's a story. Chacham ben Zion Abba Shaul was saying Acharei Yatzar after a shiur, and he was walking during the Acharei Yatzar. So a guy came over to him, says, Chacham, Ben Ish Chai said not supposed to walk. He said, you're right, but people are waiting for me downstairs, and it's Tircha de Tzibura. So a chumrah of the Ben Ish Chai versus Bimatriach Hanashim, it's a different story. So I did Acharei Yatzar before I came to Shiur. I had a good excuse. I said, but באמת, I think this is the way it's boiled down to. Whenever you challenge yourself in every level, I gave you the example of Acharei Yatzar because I want to give the most fine example that you need to work on yourself. But sometimes it's happening, kashi on Shabbat, and yeah, probably it's mutar. Are you 100% sure it's mutar? Maybe it's borer, maybe it's mavashel, maybe it is. No, I remember I saw Mishnah Berurah and it's okay. But the reason it's sad that you're not so sure and you let it go. That's a sign that something is wrong with us. Because why would you take a chance? We were talking yesterday, Lior asked us, Shaila, about a fish. His father-in-law is a big tzaddik and also knows a lot about fish. And he saw fish at Costco. He said he knows mahi זה קוראים לו? mahi group. He knows ודאי שזה זה. Can you, but there is no skin on it. No skin. Can you buy it or not? So, Eran Chazan was here, my friend Eran. And he's a big dayag, So I asked Eran, מה אתה אומר? אני נראה בסדר, כן, אפשר לראות. So I asked him, Eran, if you have to put $10,000, 100,000, אחר כך הורדתי לו, אמרתי לו, זה הרבה. You have to put $100,000 at the beginning, then $10,000. If you have to put $100,000, can you guarantee if it's not that fish that you said, you're going to lose $100,000? He said, only on the tuna. Okay. So this is where it's boiled down to. When it comes to our personal decisions, to risk $100,000, we're not going to risk. But when it comes to halacha, yeah, we can rely. It is. So if you're not sure, if somebody telling you before you do something on Shabbat, if you're wrong, you're gonna, let's bet. If you're wrong, $100,000. Yeah, I know the Mishnah Berurah. Yeah, I learned it a few months ago. But you're not 100%, and he's telling you, okay, even low $100,000, would you do it or not? That's your test.
So you can also drive yourself to a certain extent crazy, because you can be neurotic, and every little thing.
So again,
what's the healthy balance?
so I'm talking about here. Here, everybody healthy. Everybody feel chill over here.
We all have our
I'm sorry, Hashem Erachem here. Everybody has iPhone and everybody have all the.
No, I know, but
everybody chill. I don't. Obviously,
any
any stage in Avodat Hashem needs to have the awareness. You cannot run away. Don't go crazy with it, but we have to build the awareness.
Meaning, as long as you're aware, even if you potentially may not follow that level of awareness, but as long as you have that awareness, it's a starting point.
Right, it's a starting point of development.
You'll get there eventually.
Right.
But don't lose sight of that awareness. Understand that you have that separation.
Exactly.
Okay, that's good.
But I do want to clarify. Obviously, in halacha we rely on rov. Okay, so if the halacha said you rely on rov, how can you eat today in restaurant? Because you rely on rov, and you rely yad echad ne'eman beisurim. If you see that used to be that the mashgichin in Florida used to be הייתי קורא לו חירש, אילם ועיוור. חש וקטן. חירש, אילם ועיוור. The משגיחים over here were disaster. The guy can barely move as a משגיח of a place, But Baruch Hashem is getting better. But if you go to a place, then the owner is goy and the mashgiach looks like a goy. I mean, obviously they put tzitzit on him and he pretend davening. Who knows? It's okay, create awareness. But if you go on a normal way, we rely on rov. You eat chicken, and how do you know that everything in the chicken is fine? We don't check reot, the lungs of a chicken, because al pi rov, it's not an issue today. Why we don't? There are 18 types of
roosters and chickens.
18 issues in the בהמה. 18, מה המילה? טרפות. There are 18 types of טרפות. In the kaved, in the liver, in the heart, in this. We check only reot. Why we check only the lungs? Because the other things al pi rov. So you bring the halacha rules. You're not supposed to be nervous. Okay, anytime I go out to eat, maybe the meat is not kosher. Maybe that's a big.
Well, it's probably not.
Restaurant? So don't eat in restaurants. But here it's kosher. I think I do eat kosher. Gateshead, you have a restaurant in Gateshead? No, they have only pizza store in the house of somebody. נכון? Yeah.
No way.
Because you missed the whole point. The whole point is to run away from your house. You're going to other lady's house.
That's what we say in the Avot about when it talks about shimush, right? Don't do it on Milat Tekabel Sachar. That shows that you're being comfortable with the Shem.
That's a little bit different. So, Maskonas Advorim. We have to develop the awareness. We cannot feel too comfortable. We got to be very close to Hashem, but we cannot be too close. Shabbat Shalom Uvorach. Eliyahu, מה שלומך צדיק?